Okay, let's go ahead and get our heading on. Name, number, date. First and last in cursive. Remember to write the date you are working on these notes, not necessarily the date I am writing. And our subject is math. Alright, so here we have a line plot. The line plot below shows the size in inches of several different frog species. So we need to get down our scale. It's cut into 1, 2, 3, 4 equal pieces. So we have 1 1/4, 1 2/4, 1 3/4, and 2. 2 1/4, 2 2/4, 2 3/4, and 3. What is the difference? So we are subtracting in size between the shortest species and the longest species. So shortest is 1 inch. Longest is 2 3/4 inches. So my difference is 2 3/4. Take away 1 inch. Whole number, take away whole number is 1. Fraction, take away nothing, stays the same. The difference between the two lengths is 1 3/4 inches. The line plot below shows height of different students in inches. So we have 43, and this is cut into 2 equal pieces, so 1/2, 44 and 1/2. What is the difference, so again subtraction, in inches between the tallest and shortest? So in our previous lesson we were adding a lot of the numbers together, so we were combining a lot of the amounts. In this we tend to look at 2 totals and do some subtraction. So our tallest is 44.5 inches. The shortest is 43 inches. So our difference is the tallest, take away the shortest. So 44, take away 43, we get 1. 1/2, take away no fraction, is 1/2. So the difference is 1.5 inches. The difference between the two heights is 1.5 inches. The line plot below shows amounts of water in gallons students drank in a week. So this is cut into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have eighths here. So we have 1/8, 2/8 or 1/4, 3/8, 4/8 or 1/2, 5/8, 6/8 or 3/4, 7/8, and 8/8 or 1 whole. What is the difference between the lowest amount of water and the highest amount of water students drink. So the lowest number is 1/8. The highest is 6/8. So our difference between the highest and the lowest, they do have the same denominator. So 6 take away 1 is 5/8. There's nothing I can divide both by other than 1. 5 is prime, and it's not a factor of 8. So that is its simplest form, or the equivalent fraction in lowest terms. The difference between the two measures is 5/8 of a gallon. Okay, right here. Next problem. The line plot below shows the distance students live from a school in miles. So this is cut into 1, 2, 3, 4 equal pieces. So we have 5 and 1/4, 5 and 2/4 or 1/2, 5 and 3/4, then 6, 6 and 1/4, 6 and 2/4 or 1/2, 6 and 3/4, and then 7. What is the difference in miles between the students who live closest and farthest away? So the closest student lives 5 miles away. The farthest student lives 6 and 3/4 miles away. So the difference between the farthest and the closest. Well, 6 whole take away 5 whole is left with 1. 3/4 take away no fraction, stays 3/4. The difference between the two distances is 1 3/4 or 3/4 miles. Okay, the line plot below shows distance in miles Faye walked each day. So this is cut into 1, 2, 3, 4 equal pieces. So we have 1 and 1/4, 1 and 2/4 or 1.5, 1 and 3/4, 2, 2 and 1/4, 2 and 2/4 or 1/2, 2 and 3/4, and then 3. What is the difference in distance between the fewest miles she walked in a day and the most miles? So fewest is 1 mile. The most is 2 3/4 miles. In this case, not like the most frequent, the most she actually walked. So make sure you know which part of the data it's asking for. So our difference between the most and the fewest. Okay, well, whole number take away whole number. 2 take away 1 is 1. Fraction take away no fraction stays the same. The difference between the two distances is 1 3/4 miles. So exactly the same answer for the last one. Okay, here's our last problem. The line plot below shows the length in feet of the girl's hair in Mr. Wood's class. So here it's cut into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 1 1/8, 1 2/8 or 1/4, 1 3/8, 1 4/8 or 1 1/2, 1 5/8, 1 6/8 or 1 3/4, 1 7/8, and then 2. 2 1/8, 2 2/8, 2 3/8, 2 4/8, 2 5/8, 2 6/8, 2 7/8, and then 3. So what is the difference in lengths between the girls with the shortest and longest hair? So longest, it's hard to see here, but that is 2 5/8. Shortest, if it's hard for you to see right there, is 1 3/8. So shortest is 1 3/8 feet. Longest is 2 5/8 feet. So our difference between the longest and the shortest. So whole number, take away whole number. 2 take away 1 is 1. 5/8 take away 3/8. 5 take away 3 is 2/8. Both 2 and 8 are even, so I can simplify this. I can find an equivalent fraction in lowest terms. Half of 2 is 1. Half of 8 is 4. 1 2/8 is correct, but 1 1/4 is better. It has more meaning to it. The difference between the two lengths is 1 1/4 feet. Okay, so that is it for our 3-column notes. Now it's time for some more practice involving subtraction with problems with line plots. Thank you for joining me.